Oh, we live. Hey, that was fast. I was expecting the countdown.
Nah, this ain't thank God for the cruise.
But the other times we did it, it still had the countdown. It was like boom, 30
I
seconds.
mean, well, it's just me and you.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well,
You
what's up,
know.
everybody? I go by the name of TD Witt. This is one of my best friends, Keith Roberson, and we are here for Seen It, and we're here today to review Klaus. If you guys have been watching, listening, streaming all that stuff, you guys know that I said we will review this movie, and it's been a struggle for me. I said that I couldn't get through to it. I wasn't feeling it, all of that stuff. And I said, I kind of hinted that this week we might have our first bad review, and I actually slick was excited about having our first bad review, and all of that stuff. I will say, today I finished it literally like right before we started this podcast. I started it over like two or three times because I'm just like, I wanted to like, I wanted to like not, I wanted to get through to. I just wanted to be able to say like
You finished it.
yeah, like, but then also, but I knew I was starting on the wrong foot each time. So then, like, as I started, I was like, ugh, and then I stopped, and then, and to go back to what Keith said about Elf movies, how they stick the landing, that says a lot about the movie. And I gotta tell you guys, Keith actually pushed me to finish this one because I was like, man, we can't review this movie. I can't finish it, and I'm so happy he made me finish this movie because
Well, you brought. I don't know if I made you finish it, but you also brought it up. You said that this is a movie that you wanted to review.
yeah, I did want to review it, and because I it was like on I look at lists of stuff, so it was on list of Christmas movies and all that stuff. And as every time I tried to start watching it, I was thinking like, why is this movie on these lists? Like I was the whole time I was thinking we should just review Die Hard as a Christmas movie. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I can't get through it. Now that I finished it, I w- I'm excited to tell you guys that I still want us to do a bad review. Keith might disagree, but now that I finished it, I am so glad that, like I said, Keith pushed me to finish that movie because I can't even lie, guys. I got kind of emotional. If I'm being honest, there were a couple of times in the movie where like once I sat down, I was like, let me put away distractions, let me put away my phone, let me actually pay attention to what's going on. The first act is like really high energy and goofy, and I think that's what was throwing me off because the animation is in a style that we're accustomed to. But then as it starts getting into like the story beats, as it started getting into like who Klaus, that's how they pronounce it in the movie, who Klaus was as a person. Uh when they started when we get to meeting him, that's when I'm starting to be like, okay, what's this? And then and then his backstory, and then like they how they made him a real person. We think of when we talk about Santa Claus, uh one thing I love about the movie one is that Christmas was already established as a holiday before uh Klaus came about, because their deadline was to have everything done by Christmas, which means it was already an established holiday. It was like most of these movies make it like the holiday revolves around
Hmm.
uh Santa Claus, but not in this movie. Was just a he was just a person, a byproduct of this, like, con man, postman. And and yeah, like I said, the the part where I think when the movie won me, because it eventually won me, was when the little girl who didn't speak English, uh the little girl who didn't speak English, when they had to make her a gift,
Hmm.
and when they were smiling at her opening up the gift, I was genuinely cheesing too, and I was like, dang, I think I'm starting to like this movie. And yeah, like I said, I started over like three times, so the animation grew on me. And yeah, I like how they portrayed. I like most of these movies. Santa is this, super jolly, whatever person. But I like how they portrayed him as, in a lot of ways, like I like that he was mean and scary at first, but it turned out he had like a heart of gold. It turns out I don't know. I ended up liking the movie. What were your takes on it, Keith?
I was where you were originally, but I felt like it would pick up. I think a lot of times animated films have better storylines than live action films. And so, and I think in part they have to because, you got to keep people's interest because you are a cartoon, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I for one, I didn't know how to feel about the animation itself. I didn't know how to feel about the artwork itself, but
Mm-hmm.
I started to like the more I saw and the more like the more lighting that they had them in, the different environments that they had them in, I got it. And after a while you get used to the world that the illustrator is creating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um so I guess I didn't know how to feel when I first was watching it, and I didn't know like, and you think like it starts off like a lot of films, like, well, there's this privileged kid
Yeah.
and we're going to send this privileged kid here to get a better understanding of the world and of himself and of other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, us having seen many, many, many movies, it kind of desensitizes you to movies in general. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, what are you going to show me? What is going to make this movie stand out from the others? And
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so. Um, but we watched it. I watched it because we had to do this review, and this is a movie that you wanted to review, and it was a holiday film.
Mm-hmm.
The more I watched it, the more I enjoyed it. The more I became interested in what was supposed to take place and what was supposed to happen at the end. Um, um, the Santa Claus or Klaus was super exciting to watch and watch his story unfold. As little as he spoke in the beginning of the film, it was interesting to for Santa, quote unquote, and I don't, let's not say that, what I mean, yeah, let's not say that he's Santa, right?
Yeah. They never
Um,
call him Santa, not
they
one time.
never call him Santa. And at the end, it kind of alludes to the fact that something might be taking place in the hereafter.
Yeah.
So I won't give that away.
Oh,
Um,
wait. It's so much I kind of want to give away, but I won't give nothing
yeah,
away.
we won't give it away. I do recommend people watch this, even watch it in the background. It's something cool for you and your kids to watch. It speaks to, oh man, just the man, just the place where he was sent and why he was sent there, and the fact that these people were holding grudges from centuries upon centuries upon centuries. The message
Bro,
was so deep because
it
the
was.
kids were breaking these generational, dare I say, generational curses that were
Mm-hmm.
placed upon that town itself. So the town hated one another. It was like, well, we got to have a grudge against this, and so therefore no mail was going out. Therefore the town looked terrible. Therefore just the camaraderie was non-existent. Therefore there was no exchange. There was no exchange of goods or services or anything like that. If there was no such thing as people being nice to each other and kind to each other, the world, their world, literally could not move. And so that was super interesting to see, and to see,
It
like,
was.
you know all right, it's got to start with the kids. So shoot, if we're not messing with this family over here, they daggone sure can't go to the same school as them. So yeah, so there's no education taking place.
Oh,
Everything stopped.
it was.
Everything
It
stopped.
was
Even the
crazy.
even the fish was rotten. The lady
Rodney.
was saying, and so
And what's
it was
crazy is,
good to see the movie. It was good to see the town progress as it went on. Go ahead.
oh, what I was gonna say, what's crazy is, just like I'll let you go back to what you were saying, but it's crazy that it had got so embedded into them that the townspeople thought that's like this is just who we are. Like the mere thought of being happy was just like, no, that's not us. Like they couldn't even process that thought process. And yeah, man, like you said, it affected everything, bro. Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. So, dude, I'm sorry, you got me excited because I noticed it, but then I didn't even like as you went into it, man. I was just like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I didn't even yeah. It affected the food. It affected everything, and yeah.
That was the most interesting thing to me because in theory that is what would happen ultimately. You know, if everybody has grudges against one another, no matter how petty or how um, severe it is, or how long it's been, you know, and for them that was just the way that things were. Like, oh, I can't believe our two kids are playing together, and what are we going to do with these kids? Because you know what I mean, we can't have them defect. You know what I mean, because we don't rock with this family over here. Um, yeah, I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed what I don't. I mean, but I mean, I guess that's what's supposed to happen in movies. People are supposed to be angry at the main character for not telling them everything up front.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, but I'm like, it's kind of petty. Like, fam, all right, I wanted to get out of here. I needed to sell 6,000. I needed it to make, to get 6,000 letters sent off and all of that type of stuff. Why y'all mad?
Yeah.
But I do get it, and I do get. I don't know. After a while, like when you watch animated films, switching gears, when you watch animated films, it's kind of like hard to come back to reality for me, like seeing wise or sight wise. Like when you watch a movie like that that's just so polarizing visually, you know what I mean, that's just so off kilter from everything that you've ever seen. Like when
Mm,
you look away from it, it's like everything is plain. And that's really, I really did enjoy that about that movie. I recommend, so if we're grading Klaus, I do say a 3.5. I give it a 3.5 just off of predictability. Um, but otherwise, the storyline is great. They did have their own rendition of Santa Claus and how that was to come about. So that's interesting to see. But it's not new hat. It's not new hat because there's a lot of films and there's a lot of stories that are running around about Santa Claus. But this was a different take on it, and it was very interesting. This is definitely a family friendly film that is a conversation starter for you and your little ones.
yep. I agree with Keith. I give it a 3.5 as well. I This is a movie where yeah, I'm like I said, I give kudos like kudos Keith. I give kudos to Keith, even though he said he didn't make me finish it. But part of me feels like a part of me feels like if Keith didn't say what he said, I would have been like,
What did
man,
I say?
your exact words was I said I don't know if we can review Klaus because I can't get through to it. I'm not feeling it. And then you said we can't like every movie that we review, man.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
that's right.
and then you saying that, and in my mind, I was thinking like, man, it's not even that I'm not even liking it because I wasn't liking it, but it was that I was like, I've seen stuff that I don't like, and I can finish it, and for some reason, I just couldn't finish it, and I think I really just had to be in the right heart
You got to be in
mindset,
the right mood.
yeah, because it's
Maybe
it's a
you weren't in the Christmas spirit yet or something. I don't know.
yeah, because it's
Cause
it's
neither
like,
was I. I was there too, and I
bro,
think we had just come off. We had just come off of Jingle Jangle,
yeah,
and there are literally no black people in the film.
yeah, the elf.
Yeah,
And so then I was like, what is, and then what's crazy is I can honestly say by the end of Jingle Jangle, I was like, oh, I like that movie. But it was because of the musicals and the, all that stuff, the music. But this, I actually felt more emotional watching this movie than I did Jingle Jangle. Like Keith said, there's a part that's predictable and I knew it was gonna happen, but still when it happened, I was like, yeah. I don't want to give it away, but it involves the little girl, the one I was speaking on earlier.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and when it happened, I was like, because I had they made me have that little connection with her, and something happens, and I was like, yeah, okay. and I knew it was gonna happen, and I still was like, man. But I will say, um, the way the movie ends, I didn't expect it to end that way.
No.
And I think that's something like that's why I said what Keith said about Elf. When you stick the landing, it's just kind of like, dang, now I gotta go. Like this movie that I couldn't get through once, I struggled to get through it once. Now I'm sitting here like, I gotta watch it again.
In the ending of movies make a film. They make a film. It's supposed to bring everything together. It's supposed to call stuff back. It's supposed to make you feel like this was a good movie. I don't care how, if as far as films are concerned, at least, it's not how you start. It's definitely how you
How
finish.
you finish. And this is
For me.
legit one of those for me too. And this is legit one of those movies. Like there's this movie called we might review it one day, but it's called Smoking Ace. It's everywhere. It's that movie's insane. But then how it ends is one of those reasons why I put it on like one of my favorite movie lists. Because like the last 10 minutes, I'm just like, okay. Klaus is that for me because yeah, I keep saying it, guys. I could not get through to the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie. I was texting people and was like, yo, this movie trash. And then now I'm sitting here like,
Go
I
see
was
it.
sitting, now I'm saying like, go see it. Like, I'm sitting here like sitting here like, I don't know if you guys can see. This isn't tired eyes. These are red eyes because I was getting emotional, guys. I was like, yo,
Oh,
what's happening?
you just
Yeah,
finished it.
yeah, like cause I had to go run to my gym before they closed,
Mm.
and then I had to do some other stuff. So then like I came back and watched like the last 20 minutes, and yes, guys, I was like, whoa, what's happening? And
Mm.
it's like I like I like when because it's a Christmas movie, of course you're gonna have those beats of those beats of okay, we got to do this. It's a Christmas movie. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like a
Yeah.
predictability. Of
Yeah.
course,
Like, yeah.
of course, Elf is gonna see Santa in the mall. You know what I mean? But
Right.
this movie had its predictability and still had me be like, God darn it, you guys still making me like it all the way. So like, yeah, like I couldn't help but like smile like at like little stuff like when they be like and that's how the reindeer that the myth of the reindeer flying came about and I'm just like okay that was cute or that's how it came about that kids get cold I'm like okay all right I was like all right you guys landing the punches
And then
and you know what the movie is a perfect representative of him the main character because when the movie starts he's hard to be around. And then by the end of it, it's like, man, cool dude, Jasper.
Jesper
Jasper,
or
yeah.
Jesper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if you're patient, yeah, 3.5. Uh I actually Elf was one of my favorite Christmas movies, but I guess maybe I'm fresh off of this high from this one. I
Hmm.
actually recommend if you watch anything, watch Jingle Jangle this holiday season and Klaus. Cause yeah, I just really like that they made Santa a person. Klaus, like, you know what I'm trying to say, Keith? Like he felt like a, I could see him like Santa the myth seems like this
You
happy guy.
understand why he gives gifts in this film,
Yes,
and
and
not
it,
just because oh it makes me happy. It's like nah, fam. I've experienced love and I've experienced loss, and because of that, and I've experienced joy, and because of those things, it enables me to be able to give gifts to the world. You know what I mean?
you
But in a way, it kind of makes Santa like, well, this is why you're doing it to fulfill this insatiable loss. You know what I mean? To fulfill this void that you've had.
mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that there's a difference between Klaus and Santa Claus. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Is the
Klaus.
Klaus is what happened, and Santa Claus is the myth
Exactly.
or the
It,
legend, rather. Yeah.
exactly. And so I think that's why I like because it's like they treated it like well what if we have this urban legend and we made it a real person And then of course, if you make an urban legend a real person, they're not just like, well, I'm happy and jolly all the time just because. Nah, like, and then like you kind of know that, you kind of see it when that kid got that first gift and his eyes kind of light up. You're just like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Yeah, man. So Klaus, yeah, I dang. We gonna review a bad one, guys. It's coming. You guys send them our way. But I will say it's uh if we're reviewing a bad one, then I'm just like really just going out of my way to pick a bad one. Like yeah, let's review that Aaliyah movie. Somebody got to do it. That movie's terrible.
Ma Rainey. Did you watch Ma Rainey? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I haven't watched it yet. Are we
Gotta watch
reviewing
it.
it?
We can review that.
Have you watched it?
I watched it last night.
Okay, I'm curious as to what you think, but I guess I have to wait.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I felt like okay, I felt like, and we'll get into it next time, but I feel like that was gonna be a hill to climb because I don't know if it is, but I don't know if it is, but automatically for some reason I was like that's gonna be a long movie.
No, it's not really long.
It isn't. I don't know why I was like this is gonna be like a 2+ hour movie.
It's probably like an hour 20 maybe.
What?
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know why I thought it would be. I guess because those historic, like it seems, it's not a historic piece, but
Yes, it
movies
is.
like oh, well, movies like that seem usually are longer.
Well, it's a you know that it's a film adaptation of a play. So I want
Mm-hmm.
to let you know that. I want to let you and our listeners know that going in. So don't watch it like, "Oh, this is bad acting." Watch it as if they're doing a play because they are doing a play. The film is by August Wilson. Rest in peace, August Wilson. Great screen or playwright and all of those things. And he wrote books and things of that nature. Super famous in black culture. Um, but yeah, it writes, it reads, and it acts as a play.
Thank you for letting me know that. That's
Mm-hmm.
because I know when I watched well I knew it was based on a play, but I thank you for letting the listeners know because I know when I watched
Probably Fences.
it was something I watched. It threw me for a loop. I was like, whoa. And then I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So
There's a few movies out. I mean, there's a few recent movies like that. Fences with Denzel Washington and the same woman. I forget her name right now, who plays Ma Rainey. And
she's a
American,
good actress.
she is, and American Son
I
with
haven't
Kerry
seen American.
Washington.
I haven't
American
seen
Son, it's a play as well. And I was watching it, and I said, "This is this feels like a play." And I said I wouldn't be surprised if it was a play. And I looked it up. Sure enough, it was a play.
Yeah, because it's kind of like they have those moments where it's like they break the fourth wall or they're just talking in a way where you're just like, are you talking to me? Like, or the
Monologue.
audience?
Yeah,
Yeah,
monologue.
like the monologues. And so I do know that and I'm gonna go into it with that thinking. But that's next episode, you guys. That's how we're gonna bring in a new year.
Mm,
But Klaus, watch it. It's on Netflix.
watch it.
Uh enjoy it. Um
Viola Davis. Thank you, Simone. Viola Davis. I ain't want to disrespect her. Definitely.
thank
Viola
you.
Davis.
Thank you, Simone.
Hmm.
Thank you. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else for him, Keith?
No, no.
Cool.
Happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, you guys. Stay safe, and be blessed. But again, this is Tobias. That's Keith. We are seeing it, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.